Hello, I'm Semele Xerri, and welcome to the Triple Moon New Moon podcast. At this time every month, I draw one card from the Thoth Tarot deck to give an indication of the energy of the lunar month ahead, and also to help you to make best use of that energy within your own life and relating to world events. So here's my spiritual guidance for this lunar month, beginning with the Scorpio new moon at 9:27 a.m. on November the 13th. That's in the UK because that's where I live. And this month's card is the Tower, and I'm calling this guidance New Myths and Collective Visions. This is the first time I've pulled the same card for 2 months in succession. It's not a big surprise that the disruptive potentials of last month's eclipses continue to reverberate through the cosmos. That's the nature of eclipses. So it might be a good idea for you to reread last month's guidance if you don't remember it, or indeed if you haven't read it yet. We can expect similar surprises and uncertainty to continue over the next 4 weeks. But as this begins to settle, I'm drawn to the theme of new and divinely inspired understanding and vision. Once the tower of your previous limitations and errors has been demolished, you're free to look beyond the old illusions and imagine a radically different structure and framework for life. It seems to me that this card is inviting you to move beyond your personal ego now, discarding the materialism, insecurity, and power seeking that it inevitably generates. The dividing veil between spirit and matter has never been so thin, and that means you've been given an incredible chance to understand yourself and your purpose on this earth more deeply than you ever have before. The all-seeing, all-knowing intelligence of Source is showing you the truth of who you are. A divine spark, an eternal soul incarnated in a body alongside a myriad other souls, sparks emanating from the same source. Humanity as a whole is being asked to do the same because the old stories don't support us. It's time to create new myths as a collective that can unify us in a common set of values and ideals. Ones to guide us forward together towards peace and renewal in harmony with the dragon energy that courses through Mother Earth's body. All of this is symbolized in the picture on the card. The great eye of Source, the dove of peace and healing, the collapsing walls of illusory separation, the roaring power of the earth beneath your feet, the serpent of knowledge that brings renewal. On a personal level, this means trusting the universe and the process you find yourself in. Ask yourself these questions. If I accept for a moment that everything happens for my growth and expansion, what might be the higher purpose of what's happening to me right now? How might I use the current situation to think, act, create, or imagine differently? If I absolutely knew everything was going to turn out for the very best, what would the end result look like? What is truly important and what just isn't? What really matters to me? It might take a while to get to the truth of your intrinsic values. Like most of us, you've been trained and indoctrinated carefully and thoroughly to embrace the values imposed on you by external authorities and forces, those who, incidentally, have a vested interest in keeping you enslaved to them. Setting all you think you know aside for a moment, what does a fulfilled, supported, and meaningful life look and feel like for you? And then extend your imagination further. If you could wave an infinitely magical wand and transform society and the world, how would it be? If you had access to the resources and influence necessary to create an ideal framework which enabled every living being and the planet to flourish, how would that world feel to live in? What might the priorities and driving concerns be in that kind of framework? If you were wandering through your local community in that ideal world, what would you be seeing, hearing, and experiencing going on around you? Where are you in this picture? How are you being? Only this kind of unfettered imagination can show you, can reveal to us all the highest paths to take. The old limited visions of reality have been blocking your understanding and perception of truth. Actively call on the greater spiritual powers surrounding you and look for the signs and symbols they will reveal. Allow yourself to question everything you held as absolute and certain, and look beyond to opposing angles of every situation and argument. This includes deeply and dearly held spiritual beliefs. Are yours current, in alignment with the development of your current knowing and recent revelations? Is there more Source wants to reveal to you now? Some say a heartbreak must happen so that a heart can be fully open. And that's what I see these recent months as facilitating, an unparalleled collective heart and mind opening that awakens humanity to the levels of consciousness necessary to restore and regenerate the world. This is all part of the divine plan. In the words of Julian of Norwich, the medieval mystic, all shall be well, and all shall be well, and all manner of thing shall be well. And here's a quick look at the astrology for this same time period. This new moon in Scorpio is supporting you to make a bold leap into transforming your self-identity and embracing the far-reaching change on offer. If you do, you're likely to have a lot of power propelling you on. If you don't, then things will probably be rather uncomfortable. It might be hard to discern what's true and what you can believe up to the full moon in Gemini on the 27th of November. So listen to and trust in your own intuitive guidance and allow your imagination to free roam. From the 1st of December, practicality is more evident, which will enable clear thinking. You'll be much more aware of the structures you need to put in place and the discipline you'll need to exercise to anchor your dreams and ideals into reality. From this point to the new moon, be creative, communicate with those who support you and your goals. And if you take your time rather than rushing in, you'll be sure of where you want to commit yourself. That's it for this month. Blessings to you, and speak to you next month.